Me, Pearl, from Pearl in the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of ourselves. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see this reflected back to us in our outside world. So our interactions with others, our environment, the things we're trying to manifest, all those things are affected by our own energy. And we can blame others for situations, but really, if we have limiting beliefs that are in place, we will do everything we can to make sure that those beliefs are our reality. And we have to change those beliefs and then shift the energy inside of ourselves to see changes in our life. We're going to start this morning with Divine Masculine because he had the most cards showing. I'm going to warn you, there's a shit ton of cards today. We've got pretty normal amount of oracles, but the headspace of both Divine Masculine and Feminine, there's overthinking, heart space for Divine Feminine, over feeling, so we've got a lot going on today. Divine Masculine, overall, top of the deck, forefront of his mind this morning, 5 of Swords. So he's fighting a battle and he's feeling defeated. And in this Housewives Tarot, we've seen this before, and I think it was here a couple days ago, and it was really this sense of him feeling like Divine Feminine is probably cutting him out of her life, or he's trying to cut a Divine Feminine energy out of his life, and it's very difficult, and he's feeling pretty defeated in this process. So he's not feeling great. He's not, this is overwhelming his mind. So the only thing he can think about is defeat, is being defeated, and having to fight. And I feel exhaustion. The niggling thing in the back of his mind is the 9 of Swords. So, I mean, his headspace is not great. If the forefront is just feeling defeated, like there's really nothing that is going to fix this situation, and his underlying thoughts are the worries, anxieties, and fears, it's just like he's just worried, anxious, defeated, and feeling really, really bad. The first thing on his mind is the first thing that was in the song for Divine Masculine today, which you got your cherry bomb from the band Spoon, and the overwhelming thing was like, oh, life can be so fair, oh, life could be so fair, and let it go on and on. I could pay to have all your cherry bombs. So he's just feeling like it's super unfair right now, the situation. There could be like a legal decision too that seems unfair, or a contract that he's in that's not good. If this is to do with Divine Feminine energy, and we're seeing that 5 of Swords, and he's feeling cut down to size, he's feeling like he is being unfair to the Divine Feminine, or that she's being unfair to him. Some kind of or probably a mirroring thing, like probably him thinking like, I know the situation is unfair, so she's, reflecting that back to me. And he wants to take action. Good morning, thanks for joining. So he's feeling defeated, or he's thinking about this defeat and this battle and her. I think he's thinking about Divine Feminine. Okay, so this is maybe more about Divine Feminine's defeat that he's thinking. She's gonna cut him out of her life because she's defeated by his fears and anxieties that he's not moving forward, not doing anything, just kind of sitting there. And so he feels like this Divine Feminine energy that he's been fighting against is finally just like, you know what? No, I can't. And so he knows now he has to take action in this King of Wands energy. He absolutely has to, because if he doesn't, it's really, he's going to lose his wish fulfillment here. He must take this action to reveal this divine feminine, this star energy, this healing energy that the divine... So this is also about how he feels that he can't let divine feminine heal him anymore. Like, he has to take action. He has to do these things. He can't rely on her. But there's also this feeling of really resisting revealing her, taking this action and revealing her. So I guess... Okay, so there's defeat here and worry and anxiety, because even though he wants to take action as this King of Wands and express and communicate, he can't. And he knows that this is unfair because he has to be this King of Cups. In his mind, I want to emphasize, because we're not looking at what spirit thinks. We're looking at what divine masculine thinks about a situation. His energy right now is that he must be this king that doesn't speak, because he needs to protect his star, protect his hopes, protect his dreams. And he knows that this is unfair, that he is capable of taking action and could take action, but doesn't, because he's convinced himself that he has to remain silent in order to protect divine feminine energy. And then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, and he really doesn't want divine feminine to walk away. He wants to do something to prevent her from leaving him, because she's fucking exhausted by this. She's like, we can't go on like this. Do you know how long we've been going on like this? Like, this is absolutely untenable. And as much as I accept and embrace everything you're doing as signs and gestures of love, they are empty promises. We saw that yesterday. Divine Feminine's blockage was this specific iteration of the King of Pentacles. And her work yesterday was to face the truth that a promise of marriage, or a promise of a commitment, or a promise of relationship is not enough. So she wants to walk away, because she doesn't want to walk away. She has to. If she intends to go towards her higher calling, she has to walk away. And Divine Masculine is like not wanting this to happen, and he's really worried about it. I can't even fucking believe these readings. In the clarification of the star in reverse, which is what he's not doing, he's not revealing the divine feminine energy. He's not bringing his unconscious dreams and making them a reality. He's resisting this experience because of his thinking of himself as needing to protect her, which is driving her fucking crazy. And he knows it. It's making her extremely sad and confused, and he's sad that this is happening, and he's sad that he's responsible for this, but he's trying to be optimistic because he knows what he wants. He's trying so hard to be optimistic about this union and coming together into this lover's energy. And then we get the Nine of Cups upright, with this imagery of him giving these gifts to divine feminine. And it's wish fulfillment, which when we see the star in reverse, it's also about that star like touching down to earth, and there it is, that full wish fulfillment. But he just doesn't want her to walk away. He doesn't want her to get so frustrated and sad that she just leaves. And so he's wishing with all of his might that she would not do this. His heart space, he feels so foolish. We've got the Fool in reverse. He's trying to be so cautious, But the caution is making him feel like he's going to lose this divine feminine. So he feels foolish. He feels like he is fumbling this fight, this battle that he has been engaging in order to finally get what it is that he desires. But he's being cautious because of how scared he is. He's honestly terrified, okay? The niggling feeling in his heart space is the moon. And that is clarifying the 9 of Swords, which is fears and anxieties and worries. So divine masculine feels so afraid right now. He feels all of his like nightmares are coming true. And he feels foolish because he knows that this rests squarely upon his shoulders. Because he's not taking that action. He's remaining silent and he's hoarding his emotions and his feelings and abundance in those 9 of Cups energy. He's being greedy with this Lover's energy and not sharing it. The first thing in his heart space is the 7 of Wands. And this is what is clarifying justice in reverse. So this is what he feels is unfair. He has to stand his ground and fight off divine feminine's I guess actions or communications that are expressing to him that this is unfair, even though he knows that what divine feminine is saying is true, that these expressions are from her heart and that she comes from a place of love. He still has to stand his ground. Like, she has to stand her ground and he has to stand his. And this is why it seems so unfair to him, because he knows she's right. And he actually has an awareness of the energy of 7 of Wands, which is a thing where you are literally just fighting against yourself, right? Because the 7 of Wands is like, there's these wands in front of you and you're holding this wand and you're ready to fight them off. But come to find out, those obstacles are really just illusions. They have been perpetuated by the beliefs you have about yourself, these limiting subconscious beliefs that are causing this fear and anxiety. And it's the fear and anxiety that he's having to stand his ground against, not divine feminine. What is unfair here is that it's his own fear that he's fighting against. And because he's thinking about it and believing in it and feeding it a lot of detail, he's not moving, and divine feminine is corresponding to his thoughts, his fears and his worries. His fears the whole week last week were divine feminine is not going to wait this long, so she's going to go off and seize and be with someone else, and there's a new energy that is a threat. And he's been thinking that and worrying about it, and you know what? Divine feminine didn't even have that. And then yesterday we get the cards from the love oracle cards from Island Time Wellness that told us, divine feminine, the promise isn't enough, and you have to tell divine masculine that. And divine masculine was supposed to take a chance, take a risk, and make that call. And he didn't do it. And so now we're looking at the aftermath. Here's the 2 of Pentacles, clarifying the King of Wands. He must choose to take action. He must choose to stop juggling his material needs with his emotional needs and just actually take action towards divine feminine. Here's the 6 of Cups in reverse. He must choose to release the past. There is a past relationship that is causing him to block the revelation of the divine feminine energy. There is a loss of innocence here. There's something that the divine masculine suffered under. that he must choose to release in order to reveal the divine feminine. It's a past. There's the Empress in reverse again. She's back again. This is why he's not speaking, because he's still attached to this past divine feminine energy. Possibly it could be an ex-wife or an ex-partner who he had a commitment to, a baby mama, something like that. So he has to stand his ground and choose to release this past energy, which was his block yesterday. Yesterday, this was his block. She's still here, so he didn't release her. And here's the Strength card in reverse. He just doesn't think that divine feminine is really strong enough to endure this weight anymore. And he's not controlling his own pride and ego, which is making it really difficult for him to make the choice. He's just really not wanting to face that music. He doesn't want to get spanked. He deserves this. Here's the thing. This is justice. This is karma. We're looking at a karmic relationship that he is not choosing to fully relinquish. And the problem is that the reason he won't relinquish it is because of the guilt he feels about the situation. Because the truth is, he did fuck up. He fucked up in regards to this past energy that he wants to release, because it looks like he wasn't faithful. If there's a divine feminine he wants to be with that's not the past energy, then so he fucked up. And he fucked up because the divine feminine that he wants to be with, he made movements toward before he was fully released from this past relationship. Which means basically he's been unfaithful to both people. And so here's the Tower. What happens when we don't make a choice? When we don't make a choice, the divine makes it for us. So, this wish fulfillment, this Lovers, there's a Tower here. There's a crumbling down. There's a releasing of what doesn't serve you anymore, whether you like it or not, because that Eight of Cups was in reverse for you. So you didn't want to walk away. You didn't want to make the choice. And the divine was like, okay, I'll make the choice for you. And he did. Okay, so divine feminine. Here's divine feminine's energy. Top of the deck. Overall headspace, forefront of the mind, strength. So this fear divine masculine has, it's his own weakness. This is not a divine feminine that is weak at all. This is a divine feminine who is strong enough to get the message from Spirit yesterday that said, hey, the promise is not enough, and follow through and be like, you know what? It's not. And as much as I want to be a weak bitch and just pretend it is, because it felt so much better to pretend it was than to live the truth that it's not, that's not the type of bitch I am. I'm not a weak bitch. I'm a strong bitch. And I'm going to not let my ego get butt sore about an individual who can't make a choice, and just be my own King of Swords. The niggling feeling, the niggling thing in the back of her mind is she needs, she wants, she desires to be and to have reflected back to her a King of Swords who is in his integrity, in his honesty, able to directly communicate openly without shame or fear, conquer his opponents, conquer his enemies, take down the rigid belief system and expose it, this is what Divine Feminine does in her headspace. This is who she is. So right now, she is like figuring out, being really honest with herself, being in her truth. And the lyrics of the song today that played from my shuffle, which was my own song that I wrote in 2013, I say in that song, and now from here on out, I will tell the truth. I will write the truth. I won't mask it in any more lies with you. And that's where Divine Feminine is. She's like, no, I'm not playing these games. I'm not masking this in lies with you anymore. I can't do that. The first thing on her mind is the Death card in reverse. So she is really thinking a lot about not wanting this to be over. She's being very strong and very honest with herself. And even in that honesty, she's the first thing on her mind is like, I really don't want this to die. I don't want this to end. I desperately wanted the promise to be enough, but it's fucking not. So she's resisting it being over, but she knows that this transformation has to occur. And she's also thinking there's really not going to be a rebirth. She thought there was, but she doesn't think there's going to be. And there's the Two of Pentacles. Clarified, well, not clarified, but mirrored by Divine Masculine, who also had the Two of Pentacles in the exact same position, which in his heart space. But Divine Feminine, she is not wanting to make this choice to be alone. She doesn't want it to be over, because she doesn't want to have to make the choice to be in this hermit energy and be on her own. But even though she doesn't want this to be over and she doesn't want to choose to be alone, she is acutely aware that unless this Knight of Wands, who we're going to see, he's the niggling feeling, unless the Knight of Wands energy that she's been getting, which is inconsistent, pretty much just sexual energy, passionate, sweep you off your feet, and then not do anything about it. If that doesn't transform, if Divine Masculine doesn't transform into the King of Wands, who she is, because she is a woman of action. She is a communicator. She is expressive. She has a vision. She has passion. She's a pioneer. She does things that have never been done before. She thinks things. She says things. She is the King of Wands. And the reason that this other situation is over is because she can't fuck with a Knight of Wands if she's a king. But she still wants this King of Wands. She believes that the Divine Masculine energy can embody this, which is why she doesn't want it to be over. She has a fear that she's going to lose this opportunity to be with this vision she had of this masculine energy. But she's got to be honest with herself. Here's the Two of Pentacles in reverse. She's resisting choice. She understands that she's doing that. She's doing that. The Ace of Swords is new ideas, new thoughts, visions of your future. Her future has a King of Wands in it, a King of Swords, a man of action and truth who communicates, expresses, has a vision, is passionate. And here's her overthinking. Knight of Swords, Three of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, King of Cups. Oh my Lanta. This is literally the conclusion from yesterday. So in her headspace, very, very, very prominent in her headspace, is the conclusion from the reading yesterday, which said she needed to be brutally honest with herself and take swift action towards this truth. even though these pieces are falling into place, this Three of Wands, this patience, she cannot wait. She cannot wait to become the best version of herself, the Queen of Pentacles. Because this king that she has, we got all three of the kings. We're only missing the King of Pentacles, which was her block yesterday. So now we're looking at her feeling and thinking about non-specific iterations of masculine energy. She is realizing that she needs to be honest with herself, that the pieces are falling into place so that she can be her best self, and that she is going to attract a King of Cups with mastery, not in shadow, but in the light. So not somebody who's going to be overly protective and not expressive, but somebody who is able to navigate his emotions and express them. So she's really thinking to herself, I need to soul search. I need to be alone. I need to be honest with myself. I need to look within. I need to look at all these pieces falling into place. And I need to ask myself if I can be open to the potential of any divine masculine energy that fits the light of these kings and not just one specific iteration. And I'm really happy to see this, because you know what? Divine Feminine, if you did your work yesterday, and I did mine, when I got those Island Time Wellness cards for the last 3 days, I have done what the cards have said to do. Even if I have not wanted to, and I did not want to do what it told me to do yesterday. I did not want to do it, but I did it. And you know what? There's no King of Pentacles in my spread now, which was the block from yesterday. My Divine Masculine, the one that I associate this energy with, my specific iteration, did not do what was in the cards yesterday. And his blocks are all still here in his spread. Every single one of these cards, pretty much all of them, including the Star in reverse, were all in his headspace yesterday. So if you do not believe me when I tell you, when you come to these readings, that your energy has to change inside of yourself if you want to see that energy shift. I did both the work of the masculine and feminine yesterday, because the masculine energy was supposed to take a chance and communicate and express. And what I did was express what my work was, which was that the promise was not enough. And I heard nothing from my divine masculine energy. So he did not do his work, which means that specific iteration is a match to my energy, because this energy that's coming out of me didn't do its work either. So interesting. But yeah, the masculine energy did not fully accomplish the work yesterday of taking a chance and expressing love. And so that has caused the Tower. Okay, let's look at the heart space for Divine Feminine. Top of the deck, overall heart space for Divine Feminine is Temperance in reverse. So she's probably feeling a lot of emotions right now, and it's kind of difficult to balance. There's a need for healing. I also see, because I pulled this deck today, which is the Prisma Visions, in the Temperance card, you see these two glasses here, welcome, and they are just kind of chilling, and there's no one holding them, and it always just reminds me of this 5D energy. So it's like the Temperance card for this deck really makes me think a lot about how the divine union, that balancing energy, is only occurring in the 5D and not in the 3D. And Divine Feminine is like over this. She's like, I can't stay in the ethereal plane anymore with you, because the niggling feeling is this Knight of Wands in reverse, which is a Knight of Wands in shadow, which is why her headspace is so is really wanting this Knight of Wands energy to be reborn as a King of Wands, so that she can just be with the energy that she desires, that specific iteration that was her block yesterday. But she's releasing this behavior, and she's also feeling incredibly impatient with it as well, because Temperance in reverse is also a lot about impatience. So she's just like, really? You haven't learned anything. You are doing exactly what you were doing in August of 5 years ago. 7 years ago, 8, I don't even fucking know how many years ago. Like, that's the kind of thing Divine Feminine is feeling. Like, really impatient, just like, I have to explain this to you? Are you fucking serious? And she doesn't want a boy like that. She doesn't want a teenage boy. She wants a fucking man. She's like, girl, I'm my own man at this point. The fuck are you doing? Heart space, 9 of Pentacles. Clarifying what she doesn't want to die. She's very attached still. This isn't the King of Pentacles, but it might as well be, because there's still a specific masculine energy that she feels this attachment to. This is who she doesn't want to lose. This is who she doesn't want to die. But this card is also about being single and fabulous and being able to attract any energy and transforming and having the ability to enjoy the abundance that you have accrued for yourself. So she's understanding that in that death, in that transformation, while she will be losing a specific iteration, she is becoming finally available to other energies. Holy shit. For the 3rd time in this reading today, the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying the 2 of Pentacles in reverse in the same position as the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. She doesn't want to make a choice. She does not want to make a choice. But what do we know about choices that don't get made? Tower energy. Don't get stuck here, Divine Feminine. She doesn't want to make a choice because she wants this that Divine Masculine wants. Look at all the union here in this spread. The Lovers. So she really doesn't want to choose to be on her own and be single, because she wants to come into union rather than be alone. We have this Page of Wands energy, clarifying this King of Wands. She wants a new king. She wants a new energy. Good morning, thanks for joining. She wants to be able to see this new energy come towards her that takes action, that communicates, that speaks, that does what he fucking says he's gonna fucking do. Ace of Swords. Just clarified by the 2 of Wands. So this 2 of Wands card, which is representative of the twin flame journey for those of us in the twin flame collective, we've got this, we've asked for it and we're waiting and we don't know who it's going to be. We're on a journey. We thought we knew, but we're embracing new energy. Ace of Swords with a Page of Wands. We're embracing the idea that we might have been wrong, and that this energy that we've been pursuing might have been just pushing us along on our journey to fulfillment. And then what better match to the King of Swords, that's the niggling thing in the back of her mind, but the Queen of Swords. And this is her being very, she's in the light traits, she's discerning, she has clarity. This is clarifying the overthinking. She's overthinking. She's thinking a lot. She's thinking a lot about this, these last things on her mind, which is being very honest with herself, and that Knight of Swords energy, being very patient with the 3 of Wands energy, trying not to be impatient with the King of Cups that's not speaking, and just being in her Queen of Pentacles energy. So she's like going over and over and over this in her mind. And she's being the Queen of Swords because she's also wrangling this beast of her own, like her own tendency to overreact or to just speak before she thinks about it. She's really got that locked down. So she's not going to be sending any messages, this Eight of Wands. This motion towards any specific energy has been halted. She's not sending any messages. She's not receiving any messages. And she's controlling her anger in regards to this energy. Instead, she's going into the fullness of her power in this magician energy, manifesting. And she's rejecting any of the sort of puppeteering kind of experiences she was feeling coming from the masculine energy that was so controlling. And she's like, no, I'm in control. I'm the one who sends messages or receives them if I want to. And I have all the tools I need to be able to work with this energy, to be able to maintain this power and this dynamic, because I'm doing my work. I'm doing my work. That's how Divine Feminine feels. All right, let's look at the oracles for Divine Masculine. Oh my fucking God. The Tower, right? The Tower. We saw the last thing in his heart space. And we're going to look at the sexual energy now with my Sluttist tarot. I pull a card for sexual energy to represent either creative Kundalini energy or actual sexy times, however you want to look at it. This was the exact same card he got yesterday. And it is here again today. And I fucking shuffled that deck. And here it is matching the last thing in his heart space. The Tower. And it was here yesterday because it was about releasing any of the old sexual energy that didn't serve you. Beliefs and, things that kind of came from like not wholesome and healthy experiences, but came from the negative experiences you had. And it's this like lightning revelation that you actually are going to be able to have emotionally bonding experiences. That's why I was here yesterday. Well, today it's here because Divine Masculine is fully shaken up. He's still reeling from the energy of this Tower. He still has to rebuild this sexual energy within himself. There's the release that we're seeing in the headspace where he has to choose to release the past energy and the karmic partner that he's been cycling with. He's doing that right now. And there might be like fights, arguments going on in his life where he could be breaking up with this karmic. He could have broken up with this karmic and is having trouble releasing like the emotions in regards to it. But basically, we're also looking at no sexual energy there, right? The bed is empty. This is his attributes right now. For his archetypal attributes. Non-existent. He's a blank slate. He's like starting at zero. Ground zero. Look at that. That is what happens after a tower comes down. After you experience Kundalini energy that reveals yourself to you, you don't even know who you are anymore. So Divine Masculine, your guardian angel is here to support you in prayer. You need to pray right now. And this is a card about being able to pray with others, to not that you're not alone, that not only are your spirit guides there with you, the collective energy in general, but your divine feminine energy, praying with her to be able to come into this union. You are like new again. You can be anything from this point on. You're safe. Heaven is watching over you. And you are protected and you are loved and you are cherished and you are adored. Even by this divine feminine who has to make this choice for herself, be discerning. Even by that divine feminine energy, you're experiencing this loyalty and this unconditional love. So you're just being acknowledged in this right now. You are feeling loyal. You are seeking this companion energy. And St. Francis of Assisi was here yesterday too, so this unconditional love has not left the reading. But for sure, this is just letting you know that while Divine Feminine has had to declare her independence from your machinations, she is praying with you and for you and watching over you and loyal to you. And there's your Empress, and this is not in reverse. This is your Divine Feminine, fertile, creative, abundant, and ready for you. You have to stop fearing this. You fear like you don't have good luck. And luck isn't even a thing. Good luck is the, it's like in Harry Potter when Harry, in the 6th book, wins the bottle of the, I can't think what it's called, Fidelius, but there's like a potion that makes you have incredible luck from the moment you take it until it wears off. Every single synchronicity falls into place and everything you need just works out for you. And there's rules about this potion. It cannot be used for certain things. Sporting events is one of them. And they're at breakfast one morning before the Quidditch game, and Ron, Harry's best friend, who is always in Harry's shadow, and is like okay as a goalie because his confidence is not that good. So when he tries to like do his job as a keeper, his confidence gets in the way and he ends up not doing a good job. And so he's really afraid that he's gonna do a terrible job at the match. And Harry pretends to put the good luck potion into his cup, even though it's illegal. And he makes sure that Hermione, who's a Virgo and is definitely going to call him out on it, sees it, so that she makes an insinuation so Ron feels like he took the good luck potion. And then they go and they play the match. And of course, everything goes so well. And later Ron is like, and did you see this happen and this happened and this happened? And Harry's just like, yeah, man, like totally. Knowing that Ron did it himself. He didn't have good luck. He just believed that he did. And that's the lesson of that scene. So for you to feel Divine Masculine, like, oh, my luck is shit and I don't have good luck and nothing ever works out for me, well, I guess that must be true. Unless you stop thinking about it that way. Right now, your commitment is being tested. Are you committed to this thing? Are you going to do what you're supposed to do? How are you being called to step up and lead? It's pretty obvious, bro. Here's the Knight of Wands in reverse. Divine Feminine's like, I don't like that. And then all over her spread, I'm not going to pull all the cards and make a big mess. We got the King of Swords. We got the King of Wands. And then we have the King of Cups. And the only matching energy you had in the spread today was in those kings. The King of Cups and the King of Wands who takes action. So step up and take the lead. If you are the King of Wands and you were in your own spread, then go be a match to Divine Feminine. Trust in the magic. You are having trouble trusting. This is card 66 from the Colette Baron Reed deck, and I'm going to read her messages because they're beautiful. Nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and White Raven Spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to these synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all. Align with the highest good and intentions, and you will come to see that White Raven is guiding you, an ally to you, and a messenger from Spirit. Align with light, and you will start to recognize that all is working together harmoniously in ways the eye can't always see, and the mind can't always comprehend. The universe is conspiring on your behalf right now. drawing you to the light and bringing you the magic and miracles that are your birthright. Now is the time to trust in the magic of the world that is everywhere and in all things. Pay attention to how things come together as if by magic, and you will see the hand of Great Spirit arranging things in your favor. So that sounds like your luck is changing. ... All right, Divine Feminine. Your sexual energy today, Temperance energy, which is nice because your heart space was a little chafing a little bit. You're feeling patient and you're receiving your inspiration from the divine, so to speak. But you are balancing your own energy. You're kind of like taking care of yourself, if you know what I'm saying. And you're healing also sexually. There's been some kind of a wound or sexual trauma that is being healed from at this time. And you're successful in this process. You're co-creating and healing these wounds and coming into a really healthy phase in terms of your sexual energy with another partner. We know this because of your King of Wands. We already called you this today. You are a pioneer. You are a visionary. You are in the light. You have the capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others and the willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So when you made the choice yesterday, you did the choice, you did the thing that Spirit asked you to do because Spirit asked you to do it. Even though your own motives, your own ego didn't want you to, because your own ego wanted you to stay in the comfort zone, wanted you to stay in the place where you felt that a promise was enough. But you, even though you didn't know what was going to happen, and even though you knew that it was probably going to negatively impact your personal gain, to have, for me personally, things were kind of going, like trucking along pretty swimmingly, it seemed. And I was like, this and this and this. But at the end of the night, I would have the same feeling that I had had before. A little bit mitigated, but not much. And it would really just be like, okay, that's not the feeling I'm after. I'm not after, okay, I'm after, all right, okay, yes, God, yes, that's that I'm after, okay? When I'm lying in bed, I want to be like, yes, I know exactly what that means. Yes, I know exactly where we're going. Yes, I know your exact feelings, or even that you don't know your feelings. I even know that. Which is preferable to, okay, but what does this mean? So even though you knew that doing the thing that you needed to do yesterday, or making the decision or making the choice that you have to make, even though you know that that is not going to be something that you're doing for your personal gain, but is instead what Spirit is telling you you must do to be the best version of yourself, because your job isn't to come together with that person. Your job is to be a healer for a lot of other people and to live by example and to teach and to guide and to make really amazing shit. And there will be people who will join you during that process, but it can't be about your personal gain. That never feels good in the end when it's only about that. What feels good is when others say, you helped me and now I live a better life. And I couldn't have done that if I didn't hear that from you. For me, ultimately, I know that that is more meaningful to me than it would be for the person who I love deeply to show up. And I don't want that to be true. I want to be like, no, I want the person that is in my life to be, but that isn't true for me. I want to be with that person so much and I want to share everything. But at the end of the day, I'm going to choose God's work. I always have, and I always will. Even when I don't want to. And that's what a visionary does. You need to get some rest. You need to sleep. Your mind is really, really going. This Queen of Swords energy, and you got lots and lots of thoughts, and your heart's going on. Just rest right now. This is a time of rest. It's not a time to make moves for you. It's a time to rest. And then here's an acknowledgement we already saw today. It's not fair. This is the Justice card in reverse. What is happening to you right now, I want to acknowledge you. It is not fair. It is not fair. It's not fair to be in this position with somebody who says they love you. It is not fair to be put into a position where you have to make a choice you don't want to make. But karma is a thing. And those scales are balancing. And as those scales come into balance, you will start to see that justice that you're seeking and you're yearning for. You will get it. Be bold and make the first move. Now, this I feel is in your life. I think right now we've focused so much about making the first move towards this thing we want to manifest or this person we want to manifest. But in your life, there is some move that must be made for you to get to that next level. So be bold and make that move. Your vibration is rising and you are the oracle right now so that your own guidance is inspired. When you're up leveling, you're feeling probably a little bit out of sorts. But as that vibration is rising, you're becoming more and more powerful in your magician energy because you can only manifest from a place where you can, it's like, again, with Harry Potter. Sorry, I'm reading it right now. So I'm rereading it since I read it every year. But the Patronus, you can only cast a Patronus spell to ward off the Dementors, who are like demons of depression. If you can keep your vibration high. You have to stay in the place, you have to think of your happiest memory in order to create a Patronus to ward off any depression or any like negative thoughts or despair. You're getting the protection message from Seahorse Spirit, which is watch and wait. And the protection message says, are you holding on to judgment, sure that your perspective is the only correct way to look at things? God fucking damn it. The Instagram, if they don't, okay. This might be my last day on Instagram outside of my Sundays because they cannot keep this. I'm on a live fucking broadcast. Why would my screen go to sleep? And this has always been a problem for the entire time I've ever used Instagram. Fuck. So annoying. I have to touch the screen like every 2 minutes. Why? Okay. Are you holding on to judgment? Sure that your perspective is the only correct way to look at things. There are as many perspectives as there are creatures in the sea. And when Seahorse Spirit appears, you're reminded to detach from the experience so you can view it from more than one angle. Pay attention to your hidden beliefs and how they affect the way you think, feel, and act. Are you being fair to all involved? Or do you need to step back? Now, it's interesting because you got justice in reverse. Divine Masculine got justice in reverse. And now Spirit is asking, are you being fair to all involved? Divine Masculine doesn't think so. And you don't think so. You might want to think about that. Perhaps the drama you have been drawn into is your own. Whatever the actions of others, your challenge is to be non-reactive and not take their words or behaviors personally. Their turbulence may have little to do with you, so remain neutral until you know more. Your perspective might be quite different in time. So, remain neutral. When I think about that in terms of my own situation, I feel like I am kind of remaining neutral. Like the position that I'm taking is like, I don't want to take this position, but I have to because honestly, God told me to. Sorry about it. But I'm doing that with the cards Divine Masculine got with like praying with them, like being nurturing and caring and unconditionally loving and loyal, like still. Which is why the death card is in reverse and why I don't want to make the choice, right? It's like I've been holding that space for him to be understanding that his situation isn't fair too. Like, I know that that situation isn't fair, but it doesn't mean that I have to endure suffering because of it, right? So it's just like trying to navigate, staying neutral, being like, I'm not taking it personally. I do not take it personally that my divine masculine did not do his work yesterday. I don't think it's anything to do with my deficiency or even his deficiency. It's not about deficiency. It's about timing. It's about readiness. It's about healing. It's like, I wouldn't want anything to happen that wasn't like inspired by his own intent. You know, I don't want to have someone under a love spell and be like manipulating them, like the puppeteering energy. I don't want to be in this energy of manipulation. I don't like being manipulated, and I don't want to do that. So it's like, remain neutral about this person or this thing, this job, this career, whatever it is you're focused on, and watch and wait. All right. The sexual energy for the union is the Queen of Wands in reverse. So you're holding back right now, which makes sense. Right now, Divine Masculine's getting the Tower energy, which means he's having a complete like reconstruction of how he wants to express sexually. Divine Feminine is in her Temperance energy, so she's healing these deep wounds of sexual trauma. And they both have a lot of desire and a lot of passion for each other. But because of their current state where they are, they have to withhold it. They have to hold it back. Or that's how they're feeling. So it's like, at this time, their vision of this sexual energy is being suppressed. The divine union right now is in the shadow attributes of the dilettante, which is a pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess, but I'm not feeling that so much. What I'm feeling is that there is a danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits together. Like, you're only doing a little bit of the work. You're not really kind of going deep into the work that needs to be done to come together. And then the other thing is that you are not quite comfortable just delighting in the art of love without being an expert at it, without being a professional at it. So you're feeling really uncomfortable about not knowing quite what you're doing, and wanting to be a professional before you come together, wanting to be fully healed, wanting to be fully fixed, wanting everything to be like quote unquote perfect before you even attempt to do something. Like, you have to go to this school, you have to get a fucking degree in like emotional development and relationships, human relationships, if you want to be able to like go out on a date. It's like, calm down, you know, you can fuck this up. It's like, okay, like there's nothing it's really okay. And stop just dabbling with each other. Stop being like, like, get in there. Chill the fuck out, the both of y'all, because you're going to be triumphant over this energy that you're working through right now. It's all going to come together. You need to fall back on your friendship. You don't have one. Something happens when we go into separation where it becomes only about the romantic connection, and we kind of lose this piece that is the real core of any relationship. And so Spirit is asking you to reflect upon your relationships, your current relationships with your friends. Have fun. Be really lighthearted. Be less serious about the situation and less serious about what's going on between the two of you. Divine Masculine has a tendency to fall hard when the Tower moments happen for him. He doesn't just like get knocked down and then like he gets knocked down and he lays there for a while and is just like kapooey, like he's done, you know. Don't be so serious. It's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. How many years have you been working on this process? It's not a big deal. So you gotta release a lot of that seriousness that is really kind of souring the interaction between these two aspects of self. It's like, you know, my higher self is like definitely the most New York. Like when I get advice from my higher self, like when I discovered that I needed to integrate my shame regarding desperation, my higher self was like, so no one's ever been desperate before? You're the only person that's ever been desperate. Seriously? Like, okay. Right? That's what my higher self energy is like sarcastic and funny and light, telling me the tea though, like telling me the tea, and I'm like, if you can't laugh about yourself, you're not gonna get very far in life. So you need to like lighten up, people. Hey, a fiery climax is approaching, which, you know, is another thing we could say about this Queen of Wands in reverse. There's a fiery climax that is approaching, and you might have to be holding it back at the moment, but when it comes, it's going to be an atomic bomb. Transformation, you two. You are both changing at a cellular level and experiencing deep, deep healing and up-leveling, and then you are getting crow spirit. Co-create with spirit. Oracle message is, as you look around you, can you sense the magic that pulses through the world? Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience? The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with spirit, you will want to crow with delight, feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. Crow Spirit says you are right on target now to see your dreams magically come into being in the visible world. The laws of abundance, compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor now. Remember to be grateful and praise what is yours, even if it's still coalescing into form, still residing in the invisible realms of co-creation. No matter what area of your life you're concerned with now, what you hope for is on its way. For Spirit is your co-creation partner. Okay, I hope that was helpful from the oracles. Now let's close out with the Island Time Wellness cards. The things we need to do today to come into alignment in self. And I highly recommend you do these things, even if they're hard and you don't want to. In fact, especially when they're like that. The harder they are, the better it is to do them. Please subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Please share my account with someone you think might benefit from the messages I'm dishing out today. And if you're interested in winning a free reading, there is a giveaway post on my profile. I kind of gotta go down a little bit and look for it. I'm gonna try to remember to put it in my stories. Jesus Christ. And if you just tell me what kinds of different wild card spreads you might want, or just comment on it and follow the instructions, you can win a free 90-minute reading from me. All right, Divine Masculine, here is what you have to do today. You must, this is self-indulgence and the Runner card you're getting. You must focus on self-worth, time to heal, do your shadow work, and appreciate yourself. And then this says, Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, and listening to the ego. So here's what you got to do, babes. You got to do the shadow work, and you got to do the self-worth and appreciation stuff that will cure this issue that you have. Because you, my friend, have entered into the Runner energy again. So you need to work on it. You are afraid of intimacy, and you are listening to your ego instead of to your higher self. So stop doing that. All right, Divine Feminine. Today, you need to work on the sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, and working on it. Girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happy, single, living in the moment, and having fun. So you need to work on this energy, which is what? single and fabulous, living in the moment, moving on, and having fun. There's not a union in this spread today. There's a union inside. There's union in 5D, but there's not union in your work that you have to do today. The work that you have to do is work that must be done to progress to the next level, but it is the next level within you on your own. Divine couple, the bottom of the deck for both of you is sunglasses, which is watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. So I highly recommend that you stop watching each other and focusing on each other right now, and you focus only on yourself all day. And if you can't do that today because you just want to think about divine masculine or divine feminine all day, then I'm going to give you this permission. Think about them all day, only about them. Just give yourself the permission to do that. If you really retaliated at me saying stop focusing on them, do the opposite then. If I'm saying don't focus on them and you're like really hating that, fine. Then only focus on them today. Pick one of those two things and do it. Do it up. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. There was a lot of enlightening stuff here. There's a lot of really exciting changes and growth for divine feminine. And divine masculine, your king of wands is there. Like, it was not in reverse. You know that it's time for you to make this choice, make this decision. So work on that self-worth and do the shadow work you need to do to release the fear of intimacy that's causing you to run. And then you will make that love call and you will express those feelings. And I hope for your sake, divine feminine is ready to go. Because God damn it, I would love for you to fucking come into union. Okay, have a wonderful day today. Take care. I shall see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Grace Strega, our favorite. We are going to do the collaborative reading together. She takes divine masculine or divine feminine, and I take the opposite, and we read for 30 minutes, and then we welcome your questions, your personal questions. You can ask us questions about our life if you want. You can ask us questions about your own personal situations, and we will pull cards for you. So I look forward to seeing you there tomorrow here on Instagram Live, where they keep dimming the motherfucking screen for me every single day. I'm Tuned In Tarot. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.